Good morning, traders. This is Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass with your morning look at markets for Tuesday, October 13th. Okay, a quick programming note this morning. I'm going to most likely be off the desk for the first part of this session. I've got some personal business to take care of. Hopefully I'll be back by like 10 o'clock, but you never know on some of these things, so I'll be back as soon as I can. I did want you to get this video out for you. I'm not going to have a written blog piece this morning as I usually do, so it's just going to be the video, and I will catch up when I return. Okay, so we've got a mixed board this morning on futures. We've got SPY flat. We've got NASDAQ up like 1.2%, and we've got IWM breaking down over 1%. So it's starting to become clear that the value cyclical, the great rotation is starting to fall apart already after just a few days. We'll see. I mean, one or 2 days of a pullback doesn't mean that it's over, but the money's coming from somewhere, and when I see NASDAQ up 1% and IWM down 1%, it's hard not to draw some type of conclusion from that. But be that as it may, let's dive in. SPY 2-hour chart. And this is, I mean, if you're into charting, if you hold yourself out as a chartist or a technician and stuff like that, this kind of makes your day. I mean, it makes my day. It makes me feel good, to have a line in there at resistance, have price go up with two tails to touch it and then get turned away. That's validation of your work, and it doesn't always work like that. It's not always perfect and clean like that, but when it does, it is certainly a nice feeling. So this morning, for active traders, if you get a pullback into the top of the gap here at 349.06, that's a chance to buy with a tight stop below, and if you get taken out, it'll go ahead and fill the gap. That would be another place to buy. So right now we're in looking for entries. Over back here we were in fade the rips. Here we're by the dips because we're in an uptrend. We want to sell into resistance and then buy support on a baby pullback. If we lose this trend line and things go down, then that'll change yet again. But for now, we have an uptrend in place. We just corrected, and now we're on the upswing. So I would be looking for a pullback to buy, but if they take out the high, you got to buy. If they run price up and take out yesterday's high at what was it, 354.02, then you can get long against 354 with a stop just below and see if they want to push it again today. So hoping for a pullback, but happy to buy a breakout is how I would characterize that. You can see a little clearer here on the 30-minute chart. Came up, was not able to take out that resistance level, and now has turned down. The reason I kind of favor a pullback is because we've got a high level bearish PPO cross here that favors a downside move, and because this is a little extended, I think coming back to trend and the top of this gap would be the ticket to kind of reset everything and be a place, an objective place to try along. So I like that. I like that setup. Qs are up over 1% this morning in the pre-market. Have no idea if that's going to hold or not, but the same kind of thinking applies. This 293 would be a level of support, as would 289.50. So if you get a pullback to the top of the gap, I think that would be a great place to anchor along with a stop just below. If you get taken out, then it's going to fill this $3 350 gap, and then we'll be down here. But I think yeah, I mean, it would be nice to get a pullback, but if not, notice I don't have it drawn in here, but we've got a gap right above 298 all the way up to the prior high. So if it pops 298, get on board. If it breaks the high, you got to buy. So same thing with SPY. Here's the 30-minute chart. I have this marked at 297.50. Buy above that level. 293 is first support. 289.50 is second support, with the trend line coming in. So again, that would be a good place to anchor along in my book. IWM down over 1%. It's trading in this high 161 area at the moment. I think it's going to come back and test this 160, and there will be a moment of truth there. And if they keep whacking it and they lose this trend line and 160 support, coming back into the 157.50 range, and that wouldn't be a great sign for the cyclical trade. Notice the bear PPO cross. Looks like we're going to break this rising trend line on RSI. So assuming we get this pullback into 160, that's an objective place to try along against support in the uptrend line with a stop just below. And like usual, if you get stopped out, then you can be short against 160. So in my mind, this is the pivot for IWM at 160. And you can see it here as well. We had talked yesterday about being in the top half of this channel. Well, now we're in the bottom half with the pre-market move, and 160 here, or 162, is your key level where the bottom of the trend line and lateral support come in. And if it were to lose that area, coming down here to 160, and then of course if that breaks, then it's a whole new ball game on the downside for IWM. Facebook is rocking in the pre-market. We've got a gap to fill here up to 282.50, and then above that, although there is some minor resistance along the way, I think you got a free shot up to 292.50. It would be nice to get a pullback into 273 or even 267.50. I don't know if you're going to get that, but if you did, I know I will be trying a buy on a pullback into 273.20 and or 267.50, of course, whenever it happens. But if price were to reclaim this 278.75, I would get on board there and look for a gap fill almost $5 higher, and then roll my stops and my strikes on the gap fill and see if you can pop above, and then go on to 292. Apple, strong in the pre-market. I think anything above 123 is bullish. Anything below favors a check back into this 120 area. And if it were to do that, I think it would be a really good buy. An objective try for a long right there. This morning, if you don't get the pullback, you can use yesterday's close as a stop above this 124.5, 125 zone. But looks really strong. Don't forget their 5G phone announcement is today. Check your local listings for the time of that. It's usually, like 2 o'clock East Coast time. Be ready, be ready if you've got an open position, or even if you don't, if that's some kind of, potentially sell the news kind of event. You don't want to be sitting there holding the bag. You got to be ready to move quick. Or if you got a big win on the table, just take it off and wait for the dust to clear on that announcement. Tesla, pretty clean look here, pretty simple. Above 450, take it long. And your first objective is 460, but then above that, back up to the old highs near 500. Amazon was off a little bit in the pre-market. If it came back into 3,400 or 33.35, those would be your buy the dip locations. And if it were to take out yesterday's high, you can get long for this gap fill and a run up to like 3,600 in that area. Google had made a nice push yesterday, and here again, one of these wicks that goes right up to 1589, tags it, and puts in that gravestone doji candle right there, and then had a follow-up red bar. So strictly speaking, from a technical point of view and a candlestick watching view, this is bearish, and you'd want to see a follow-up selling candle down in here. And I think your buy the dip location is 1538, or depending on where it comes, may find support in this uptrend line. But again, that was real nice to see, that the levels were right on the money. So that made me happy. Microsoft is up in the pre-market. If you recall, yesterday we rolled up our calls. We're sitting in the October 23rd 2250s. Let's see how this trades. It's up in this 224, 225 area in the pre-market. Notice we do have some resistance here. Volume over price bar coming in at 225. I wouldn't be overly distressed if you see price have trouble right here at 225, and take a moment or a few hours to digest that level and then see if the rest of the market can push it above. And I think above 225, I think we can find 230. Big C is a name we put on the radar yesterday. Some pretty good trading. I wasn't in it. I didn't trade it yesterday, but a few guys did. Came up to this large volume over price resistance level right here at 102.50. Now today, depending on how the market goes, if that were to pop yesterday's high, I think you can get long there and look for a move up towards 107.50 for starters, but possibly all the way up here to near 120, or it rolls back down to the bottom of the channel. And if you're nimble, that's good money to make there as well. That's, you know, a $8 move down to the bottom of the channel. And if that were to happen, that would be your buy the dip location for a move back up to either the top of the channel or to break out. DraftKings, we missed the short on this break of trend here. It has come down pretty sharply, found resistance or support on Friday at 47.50, bounced a little bit, but was contained by the fast moving averages that are coming down. I think a really nice buy the dip location would be either on this trend line or at 42.50 if we made it. I think that would be a great place to anchor along, because I do like the space, the online gaming space. But if it came up and recaptured this 55, I think you can take it long there too. Kind of, you know, in between is no man's land. So I'm looking for, you know, 47.50, 42.50, or a break above 55 to get long. Vertex, this was a name brought up in the trading room. Got a little breakout working here after a consolidation triangle with some overhead resistance at 280 and then the prior highs at 300. Check your earnings date on that. I'm not sure when that is, but that may get a pre-earnings push. That got me looking into IBB, coming up here on the prior high at 146. I would alarm that level. Certainly an area of interest for either a potential double top and a rejection or a breakout. Very much the same thing on XBI, the small cap biotechs. It's got to punch through right here to take out this prior high at, you know, 121-ish. If not, there's the potential for a double top and a roll back over. So let's watch XBI on both sides of that 121 area. Okay, it's 7:06. Let's wrap it up there. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. That would be great. And if you like the content, everyone, please hit the like button. Check out the show notes for links to the blog and how to register for my content each and every week. And if you've got sectors, stocks, anything of interest that you want me to cover off, please leave me a comment. Give me some feedback. I'd love to know what you're thinking. If you've got a nice setup you want to offer the group and the followers, certainly happy to bring that up and cover it off on one of my segments. That would be great. So have a good morning of trading. I will catch up with you mid-morning today after I get back, and we'll see how it goes today. NASDAQ looks strong. Small caps look weak. We still have the big banks to report this morning. I have not seen them posted yet, but those will be of interest. So this has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Talk to you next time.